Mr. Chairman, are you with us?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. The time's now 10 a.m. The meeting is recording, and I am unsure as to whether we have a quorum. So, commissioners, please identify yourself if you're here. Okay, Mr. Chairman, just a moment.
Okay, sure.
This is Joe Pennington.
Hi,
Good
Commissioner.
morning, Commissioner. Welcome.
Sorry, I was muted. I apologize.
Oh, good. We're glad you're here. Should we kick things off?
Morning.
Mr. Mello?
Morning, this
yes,
is Eric Feinstein. I'm here via phone as well.
Awesome. Let's get this thing rolling then. We are recording, Mr. Mello?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Then I hereby call to order this meeting of the Arizona Boxing and Mixed Martial Arts Commission. Today is Wednesday, January 15th, 2025, and the time is 10:01 a.m. With those commissioners that are in attendance, please identify themselves and state as to whether they are here via telephone, via Google Meets, or in person.
This is Joe Pennington. I'm participating by telephone.
Morning, this is Eric Feinstein. I am also here by telephone.
And I am Scott Fletcher, also here via telephone. Thank you all for participating. Item B is our new business. We have a number of renewal license applications to consider. B1 is pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 5-228A, B, and E, and 5-229. The renewal license application submitted by Mr. Christopher Chariaso on behalf of Rise Combat Sports LLC for a 2025 promoter's license. Mr. Bello, will you speak to the Rise Combat application, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. And just for the record, Valerie Marciano, our AAG, is here with me. And I also wanted to make a recommendation, sir, that we, for items B1 through B7, that we adopt them all together, essentially. And the reason being is that my recommendation for each of these is the same. The financial report and investigation found each of these applicants to be stable. And for the purposes of trying to not be redundant, I think it'd be appropriate just to adopt them all as one motion.
Fair enough, Mr. Vella. Commissioners, you agreeable with B1 through 7 all being thrown into the pot together? And if there's one that you want to talk about, please let me know.
Mr. Chairman, I'm perfectly comfortable with doing them all at one time.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I reviewed these as well yesterday, and I am also comfortable with grouping them together.
Okay, great. Let's do that. I think we're blessed to have these 7 promoters working with us and signing up for another year. So the chair would be open to a motion if there is one.
Mr. Chairman, I move that pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228A, B, E, and 5-229, that we grant a 2025 promoter's license for items 1 through 7 on the agenda. If required, we can certainly name each and every one, but it's pretty clear on the agenda. So unless the attorney has a issue with that, I would submit that motion.
That's fine.
Thank you, Commissioner.
There's no problem with that, sir.
Okay, perfect. We have a
Then I
motion.
second
Is there a
the motion.
second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Usually we spend a lot of time saying nice things about this group of people. They've had a great year last year, and I'm really excited that they are on board. So that's fantastic. Let's jump to B8, which is pursuant to ARS sections 5-222A, 5-227B, and AAC R19-2-C609. The renewal application submitted by Mr. Robert Carmel, doing business as United States Muay Thai Association, the USMTA, for a 2025 amateur sanctioning organization registration. Mr. Vella, you speak to Mr. Carmel's application.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Like the other items, Mr. Carmel submitted materials to be registered as a amateur sanctioning organization, and we found him to be financially stable. And so for purposes of the record, the reason why he was not included in that lump is that this is an amateur sanctioning organization registration, whereas the other items were promoter renewals. So it is my recommendation that we approve this registration and renew his license.
Terrific. Thank you, Mr. Vella. Yeah, we have a long history with Bob Carmel and his various events he's put on. So I'm just glad to see him back. Commissioners, thoughts, questions regarding this application?
Mr. Chairman, I concur with your comments. Mr. Carmel has done an excellent job for many years, and it's always been a pleasure working with him. So I have no questions.
Mr. Chairman, I also don't have any questions, and I would be willing to put forward a motion.
Please do.
Pursuant to ARS sections 5-22A, 5-227B, and AAC R19-2609, I move that we renew the application submitted by Mr. Robert Carmel, doing business as the United States Muay Thai Association, for a 2025 amateur organization registration.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I just may make a correction, that's section C609 in our rules.
Apologies. Very good.
Very good. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Carmel. We look forward to your future exploits. They're always
Thank you,
good.
gentlemen. Looking forward to a good 2025.
Thanks for joining us, Bob. We too look forward to it. Let's get to our information report. C1 is our event reports. The following events were conditionally approved by the executive director from January 1st to January 13th, 2025, pending the approval of a new or renewal 2025 promoter's license. The first was a request from Ringside Promotions for approval of an MMA event to be held at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix, Arizona on February 15th, 2025. The second is a request from Iron Boy Combat Sports LLC for approval of a boxing event to be held at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix, Arizona on February 22nd, 2025. And the third is a request from Rise Combat Sports LLC for approval of an MMA event to be held at the MCAS Yuma in Yuma, Arizona on February 28th, 2025. Mr. Vella, we're getting some events getting going here. The one in Yuma is always fun. The MCAS with the Marines is always a fun event. So I'm glad that's back on.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I echo those sentiments.
Very good. Let's press on. Item 2 is our regional ABC officials training. The division will host an ABC officials training for boxing and MMA judges and referees on February 8th and 9th, 2025. The training will take place at our downtown office at 100 North 15th Avenue, Suite 202, Phoenix, Arizona 85007. Mr. Vella.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We welcome all of our officials to register for that. We encourage them to, as well as those officials in our surrounding states and from anywhere really, if they're inclined to come to Arizona. February is a nice time of the year to be here in Phoenix, so it's a perfect time for us to kick things off and get all of our officials back in gear for the year to come. I'd just like to commend our officials because many of them have sat through these ABC courses not just once in the last couple of years, but several times, as these courses are generally offered at many of the conventions and things that they attend. And we are fortunate to have very proactive officials that continuously want to learn and always develop and be the best that they can be for our combatants and our sport. So I'm grateful for that, and we're happy to be hosting this training. The training will be facilitated by a few very great trainers and really well-known individuals in the sport. So David Sutherland will be doing the boxing judges training. Jack Reese will be doing the boxing referees training. And then Blake Grice will be doing the MMA judges and MMA referee training. So again, it's going to be a great event, and we look forward to a packed roster of great officials attending.
Fantastic. Yeah, we've got the best folks, and this is always a great session. Do you know what the hours look like on those days, Mr. Vella?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The training will be from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. Obviously, we're mindful that the Super Bowl is on that Sunday, and therefore we hope to wrap things up a little sooner so that everybody can get on with their Super Bowl parties and so on and so forth.
Very good.
For the
That's
record,
fantastic.
combat sports comes
Yes.
first.
Fantastic. Speaking of which, let's talk about item 3. The World Kickboxing Association, the WKA, has expressed interest in becoming a registered amateur sanctioning organization. Application materials have been submitted, and the application is currently under administrative review. Can you speak to that, Mr. Bella?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So Brian Crenshaw of the WKA had reached out to us a few months ago expressing interest in being recognized and registered as a sanctioning organization. As you may know, the ISKA at this time has indicated that they do not intend to apply for registration this year. And so currently the USMTA, Mr. Carmel, is a registered sanctioning organization. And we have the authority to delegate that or register sanctioning organizations for disciplines of Muay Thai and kickboxing. And so the WKA is interested in serving in that capacity as well. And there have been some promoters that have expressed interest in working with the WKA for purposes of ranking opportunities and other types of national tournament opportunities. And so we are reviewing the application, and it's going through the administrative process. I've informed Mr. Crenshaw of what that process may look like. And at a future date, perhaps in a special meeting or in the next regular meeting, I will be giving an update as to what we found in our administrative review and what our recommendation is as to whether we recommend registering the sanctioned organization.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Bella. Commissioners, any thoughts, questions about the WKA?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vella, is the WKA going to be focusing exclusively on kickboxing, or will they be including Muay Thai as part of that?
In their application, sir, they did indicate that they would like to sanction kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, more to come. Maybe at our next meeting, Mr. Bella.
Yes, sir.
Item D, the call of the public. Mr. Bella, anyone who would like to speak to us?
We do have a hand raised, Mr. Chairman. It appears that Tiago Acevedo would like to speak.
Yes, please. Mr. Acevedo.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
Where's the button?
Morning.
Good morning. So, thank you for your time. I'm gonna try to be brief. I host the U.S. Open here in Phoenix. We put probably more fights than any other promoter in the state. Probably over 700 to 800 bouts a year, and we do this with Bob Carmel, the USMTA. We do really great job keeping really safe and fair bouts. I had a bit of an issue, and I talked to Mr. Vella yesterday about, you know, the process of which to get a new promoter's license is quite difficult, especially this time of year. And I wanted to make maybe some possible recommendations for you guys to consider. Yesterday, it took me a very long time to get to Mr. Vella to discuss a possible partner that wants to put on a professional Muay Thai bout at my tournament. And he's been expressing that it was quite a struggle, and communications have been a bit lacking. I think in November it was discussed that there was going to be a commission meeting in December. And I think it was discussed that it was going to be in person, if I recall correctly. And I showed up and to find that the meeting was canceled. I didn't see any notice on the website or anything like that. And so I've been a little bit frustrated with a little bit of the communications back and forth. But now that I have a direct line to Mr. Bella and Irania, it's been a lot smoother. But I would recommend that maybe I don't know if you guys have an opt-in email system for promoters that want to receive notices about any kind of meetings changes in scheduling, because I had a hell of a time getting over to you guys and to find out that it was canceled. And then on top of that, when I wanted to maybe go and schedule an appointment at the commission's office, they said I couldn't even go to the office and talk to you without an appointment. And I don't know if you can understand my frustration, but I couldn't even get a hold of somebody to make an appointment. And so it was a bit frustrating that it's a public office and I couldn't even approach the office to talk to a secretary or assistant to make an appointment in person. And then possibly I do understand that you guys, and my second suggestion would be that maybe there be some extra meetings rather than to get some of these promotions, approved and licenses approved, because it's quite difficult to have a successful event and not be able to promote it within 30 days of the event. And so these are just suggestions of mine that I've noticed. I've had a license in the past, and it was definitely a lot smoother than the process that I'm experiencing today. So those are just suggestions of mine. And, again, I appreciate all the work that you guys do. But these are frustrations that I've had in the process with this partner.
Yeah, Mr. Acevedo, that's a frustrating story to tell. And my apologies regarding December's meeting. That was a late notice cancellation, but we rarely, if ever, have done that. So I completely understand your frustration. We very much respect what you guys are doing with US Open and the USMPA. And I think maybe having another meeting in person, Mr. Bell, would be a good thing so we can shake hands and get to know each other better.
I'm definitely okay with that.
Okay. And this one will take place regardless. If it's just you and I, we will meet and talk. But let's work on that, Mr. Bell, if you can, about having an in-person meeting, because it's important that we know everybody and they know us and have access to us too. So I know it is tricky getting into that office. Even when I go into that office, it's tough getting in and out of there. So I understand why they have a meetings requirement for that, but we also want to take good care of you and make sure you're happy with where things are going, because you've done a really great job along with Bob Carmel to put on some great events. We want to keep that going. Yes,
we plan on putting an event. Hopefully we have an application put in for March. And it's quite a big event. And so I can't promote it. It's quite frustrating that I can't promote it. And so, and it hurts our chances for it to be a successful event. So I don't know if there's a possibility of possibly, doing maybe an emergency or not an emergency meeting, but an extra meeting, a special meeting, to get maybe some of the March promoters approved or conditionally approved.
No, I appreciate you bringing this up. Mr. Vela, can we talk about this later and try and sort out a path forward?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Tiago and I discussed this yesterday. I informed him of some of the process and the possibility for such, should everything in the application be reviewed and come back in a positive light.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. Well, I appreciate your candor, Mr. Acevedo, and I apologize for the December meeting going south. But we'll get this sorted. We want to have you on board and make sure you're taking care of it too. So we'll get
Thank
this
you,
sorted.
sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate your
Daniel.
time. Mr. Bella, anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I do not see any other hands or indications that anyone else would like to speak.
Okay. Well, let's go on to item E, which is the call to the commission. Commission members or the executive director may introduce a summary of current events, ask questions, and or make comments. Mr. Bella, anything you'd like to talk about?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I do have a few items. So obviously 2024 was a huge year for our commission, and I'd just like to thank everybody on this call and Irania and all of our staff who made that possible, all of our officials and everybody. It was really something to see how far we've come just in the last few years, and some of the changes that we had in 2024, like our legislative omnibus. We had 8 global events and several championship bouts. I believe the count was 18 or somewhere around there. So it was really a big year, and we're looking to make 2025 even bigger. We hope that we can continue to deliver at such a high level and continue to improve in any way that we can. I thank Tiago for his comments. There's always room for improvement, and we'll continue to do that to serve the best that we can to our industry and to the public. And so some of the 2025 things we mentioned, obviously an ABC training for our officials, as well as there's been some changes because of that legislative omnibus that we want to continue to remind everybody about. So licensing is now valid for 365 days from the date of issuance. Medicals for combatants will be the same, so they are good for 365 days from the date of the exam. I also want to remind everybody, this is not a change from the last legislative thing, but this is a legislative item nonetheless. The 48-hour requirement for all licensing materials. This is something that really we want to ensure compliance with, especially in the new year. And so just a reminder to all combatants and anybody participating in events, promoters, so on and so forth, that everything is due to us 48 hours, the day that ends, or 4:30, the day that is 48 hours before the event. So essentially it's the day before weigh-ins by 4:30. So if your event's on Saturday, that Thursday at 4:30, everything is due to us or by 4:30. And that's so that obviously we can facilitate a review of everything and make sure that everybody is squared away, their licenses are issued and everything before an event. Obviously, when things are delayed or when at weigh-ins, when we're having to process paperwork or even on the day of the event, it causes a bit of a scramble and is not fair to those that have submitted their materials on time. So again, please keep that in mind. And that's something that we'd like to emphasize for 2025 and beyond. In addition, as far as the legislative changes go, referees are now required to submit as part of licensing, similar to combatants. They're required to submit a physical and eye exam on an annual basis. So just a reminder for those referees on the call, the forms, you should have received the forms if you were licensed with us last year. We sent that out as part of the renewal email. But please reach out to us if you have questions or have not received those forms yet, so that we can get you the proper forms and you can schedule those appointments. I believe that's all that I have, sir. And thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I do have one more item. And it is that internally we're continuing to review the one championship rules and comparing them to our rule sets so that we can make a determination as to whether one can promote here.
Okay, terrific. Thank you for your comments. And yes, 24 was a great year. And thank you and Arania for keeping an eye on the shop during all of that, because it was a busy year. And it looks like another one's afoot. We just signed up 8 world-class promoters, and there'll be more coming down the pipe. So it's going to be another great year. I'm very excited about it. Commissioner Feinstein, any thoughts?
None for me. I just would echo the sentiments of what a fantastic year it was. Very excited about the events in 2025. Hopefully we can work on the One Championship project and figure out a way to support them to promote in the state. And just a big thank you to everybody that's worked so hard.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Pennington, thoughts?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I want to echo my commendation for the commission, the staff, and what a great year 2024 was. And I know that the commission is looking forward to a great 2025. I also want to state that in the February meeting, and I plan to attend in person, I will be submitting my resignation.
Oh, you're putting a big downer on the whole affair, Commissioner. That's no good.
It's time to
But
give
certainly
others a chance.
It's your prerogative for sure. Mr. Bella, can we make sure that that is an in-person meeting so we can all get some time with Commissioner Pennington too?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. And that was, I was going to address on your announcement that yes, the February 19th meeting will be in person, and those that would like to join us are welcome to do so. For purposes of accessibility and ensuring that others and those joining from other states and such can join, we will also still have a video broadcast that they can tune into.
Okay. Okay. Terrific. I have no further comments, which leads me to F, the announcement that the next regularly scheduled commission meeting will be at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, February 19th, 2025, and is subject to change based on a quorum. Item G is adjournment. Do we have a motion for adjournment by chance?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I get the
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I got two. I think we might have lost Commissioner Feinstein, but I think it passes 2-0 at the very
No.
least. We are, oh, okay.
You
3-0.
you didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. I am in favor of adjournment.
Okay. Adjournment has passed 3-0. We are officially adjourned. Thank you all for your time. I'm looking forward to an in-person meeting next month. It's going to be great. Take care, everyone.
See you next month. Bye-bye.
Mhm.